Hi guys, how's it going? It's me Megan and I am back with another video. If you guys are new to my channel, I am a full-time reseller on Poshmark and a few other platforms, but mostly Poshmark. And here on YouTube, I like to make reseller content. I'll do it sold videos, I'll do the occasional unboxing, I know not too many recently. I'll do haul videos, so if that is something you guys are interested in, please make sure to like and subscribe, and that way you'll never miss one of my videos. So first things first, oh, there goes my cat. First things first is that, I'm sorry if you can hear it, but my husband is in the shower and now my cat's crying because she hates when my husband is in the bathroom without her. So in today's video, I'm going to be going over this last week's sales. So April 9th through the 15th. It was a pretty slow week. It's been slow for the last couple of weeks. It's like tax season, like we're really coming to the end of it when taxes are due. So I'm not like super surprised that people, you know, aren't excited to be spending money on other things. But at least for this weekend, things really did pick up again, which is great. So hopefully people are going to be buying more stuff this week. And yeah, I still had some really good sales, so I'm just going to get into it. So last Sunday, April 9th, I had 4 sales. I sold this Sonoma tie-dye PJ set. I got this at the bins. And I wouldn't say it's like the best purchase ever. Sonoma, I think, is sold at Kohl's or maybe Macy's. So it's not like a high-end brand. But when I saw it at the bins, it was just so crazy soft. And at first I just found the top and I wasn't going to pick it up. But then I found the bottoms. And PJ sets do pretty well. So I did end up buying them. They only ended up selling for $14, and after fees I made $9.03. Then I sold these Dickies relaxed overalls. If you guys saw my haul video that I posted last week, I got these recently at the bins. I didn't really know how they would do. I know people like Dickies, but not everything from Dickies does well. Luckily, I found a cute model photo and they were more of like a relaxed fit. They were a woman's extra small, so I was a little bit worried about that, but they still sold pretty quickly. They sold for $28, and after fees I made $20.38. Then I sold this Columbia Omni shade hat. I also picked this up at the bins kind of recently, kind of on a whim. I thought it would do a little bit better. I do like to sell Columbia. I used to find it a lot in Portland because that's where it is headquartered. And I know people kind of like this style of hat, so I thought it might do a little bit better, but comps really weren't that great. Only ended up selling for $10, and after fees I made $7.05. And the last thing I sold on Sunday was these Cello, I think is how you pronounce the brand, straight leg distressed jeans. These I also picked up at the bins, just kind of because I like the style. They were distressed and straight leg. And I've sold this brand before. It's nothing like exciting, but people do buy it, but it's like not a very expensive brand. They only ended up selling for $10, and after fees I made $5.03. Then Monday the 10th, I only had one sale. It was these Mack Weldon Ace sweatpants. And if you have been watching my What Sold Sunday videos for a while, I do mention having a lot of these Mack Weldon sweatpants selling. I got a mystery box sometime last year full of men's Mack Weldon bottoms. And this was actually my last one. I sold through all of them, which is great. And I'm sure I made a pretty good profit because I think each one cost about $13 and I sold each one for about $30. So that's great. These ended up selling for $38, and after fees I made $30.40. Then Tuesday the 11th, I had 3 sales. I sold this Azazi bridesmaid's dress. I can do pretty well with Azazi. It's a little bit hit or miss. I've sold several though over the last few years. I think it kind of like traditional bridesmaids dresses kind of come in and out of style. I mean, this color is definitely more like a spring summer color, so that makes sense that it's sold now. And I think it's still a really trendy color. But yeah, I can't remember where I got this dress. I want to say I probably got it at a thrift store. So I probably spent about $10 on it, but it ended up selling for $67, and after fees I made $53.60. Then I sold these Calia blue cropped pants, which I think showed in that video from last week at the bins. I wasn't really sure about these pants because they were seemingly a bit outdated, like cropped and cinched, and I don't really know how popular the brand Calia is. I think that's how you pronounce it. It's Carrie Underwood's brand. I'm not sure if she's really associated with it anymore, but I have sold it a few times, and if I see it at the bins, I will probably pick it up and try it out. Again, these were a little bit dated, but they did sell pretty quickly. They sold for $15, and after fees I made $12. And then I had my best sale of the week. I sold this 90s Diane Frez, I don't know if that's how you pronounce her last name, hand beaded dress. You guys might remember this dress. I got this last year, maybe like last summer around after I moved here, and I found it at a Goodwill, so spent about $10 on it, and it was just so pretty. And comps are a little bit all over the place for this brand. Some are really, really high, like in the 200s. Some aren't as high. Actually, I have another dress by this designer, but more like an 80s style dress. This one I think was from the 90s, but it got like moderate attention. But then all of a sudden this last week, it got like 50 likes in 3 days. And I'm like, what is going on? But then it actually ended up selling on Depop. It was getting a ton of attention on Poshmark, but this actually ended up selling on Depop. It sold for $170, and after fees, I made $145.40. And even after it sold and I marked it as like not for sale on Poshmark, it was still getting like tons of likes. I imagine it's probably because prom is in May, so people might be buying for that. But I have no, it was just like blowing up like all of a sudden, so quite interesting. Then Wednesday the 12th, I had 3 sales. I sold this Sweet Salt baby doll blouse, again, a recent bins pickup. I didn't really know anything about this brand. I like the way the blouse looked, and I thought it might be worth something. Turns out that it's like a modesty brand, which is something that people look for. It did sell pretty quickly, but it only sold for $10, and after fees, I made $503. Then I sold this Bo Ben Dixon retro heart print t-shirt. This had some flaws to it, but I did note them. It was really cool, just like retro t-shirt. I guess this brand must be pretty popular. I never heard of it. Comps were like good, but not like great. I just didn't really know if it was gonna be like, you know, a popular brand, but it did end up selling for $26, and after fees I made $18.78. And then the last thing I sold on Wednesday was another Depop sale. It was this Vanity Fair tote bag, and I actually got this at the bins years ago, and I didn't list it, or I might have listed it and then took it down. I was just kind of using it in my office as like storage, kind of, for like my miscellaneous category things like jewelry and like smaller wallets and accessories. But I decided to list it. Tote bags are really trendy right now, and it was still in really great condition, and it sold pretty quickly. It sold for $10 on Depop, and after fees I made $9. Then Thursday the 13th, I only had 1 sale. I sold these Nike floral bike shorts. Again, a really recent bins pickup. I loved these bike shorts. They were like a contrasting floral print and so perfect for spring and summer. And bike shorts are still like crazy trendy. They sold for $20, and after fees I made $13.02. Then Friday the 14th, I had 4 sales. I sold these American Eagle high-rise flare jeans, and these actually came from my most recent pins trip that I haven't posted yet, but hopefully I'll film it today and be able to share that with you guys this coming week. And I don't always pick up American Eagle jeans at the bins. I probably used to pick it up a lot more, but now all I really find are like skinny jeans, which is just not the most trendy thing right now. But these were really cool. They were flare, and they had like a little slit at the hem, which is, again, pretty trendy. I think Abercrombie & Fitch has styles like that and everything, and I found a model photo, which is great. They were a size 0, so I was a little nervous about that, but they still sold super quickly. They sold for $29, and after fees I made $23.20. And then here's something that might look familiar. I sold these XCVI wide leg pants. And if you watched my What Sold Sunday video last week or my bins haul from last week, you might say, Megan, I thought you already sold these pants for $50. And I did. But when I went to ship them, I realized that they were a size small and not a large as I had listed them as. So I had to cancel that sale. I relisted them, and I kind of went back and forth with somebody. But when they offered $35, I just decided to accept because it would be still a pretty quick sale. It's not the $40 I made the first time, but that's fine. They ended up selling for $35, and after fees I made $28. Then I sold these Abercrombie & Fitch 90s carpenter jeans. These came from a pretty recent flip lot that I received. I'm really only sourcing for flip lots that are pretty small, that have pieces that I am excited about listing. So I only have a few currently. This lot where these jeans came from actually only has 3 pieces in it. But these ended up selling for $55 after Mercari fees, because I sold this on Mercari. I made $47.40, and then after flip consignment fees, I made $22.65. Then the last thing I sold on Friday were these PacSun light wash jeans. I think I got these kind of recently at the bins. I do like to pick up PacSun jeans. They usually are like straight leg or like a slim straight, and I like PacSun stuff. I think it's still pretty cute and trendy. These ended up selling for $18, and after fees I made $12.38. And then yesterday, Saturday, I had 5 sales. I was so happy. My weekends have been so slow recently, and I'm not sure why, but I am so happy that I actually got several sales yesterday. I sold this Athleta long line sports bra. I have sold, this is the 3rd one I've sold. I found 3 of them at a local thrift store one day, each for $3. I sold the other 2, and this was my last one, so that's great. Ended up selling for $22, and after fees I made $17.60. Then I sold these A New Day linen wide leg pants. I picked these up at the bins because they're very trendy style for the summer. A nice casual linen wide leg pant in a good size. A New Day is just Target, but sometimes, you know, it could do pretty well for me. This ended up selling on Mercari for $17, and after fees I made $14.31. Then I picked up this vintage Disney Goofy long sleeve. I believe this came from my most recent bins trip that I haven't filmed yet. I love finding vintage Disney stuff at the bins, and this was just like a fun Goofy falling out of like his winter skis long sleeve. I was surprised it sold as quickly as it did because it's definitely more of like a winter item. But people do love vintage Disney stuff. It ended up selling for $30 on Poshmark, and after fees I made $24. Then I sold these 2 Lululemon Love pleated tank tops. Again, most recent bins trip that I haven't filmed yet. I found these at the bins. I actually found a decent amount of Lululemon at the bins. Nothing like super crazy or exciting, like one piece, but most of the rest of it wasn't like gonna get me the most money. But I did find 2 of these tank tops, and they were both the same size, so definitely both from the same person. Took me a while, but I found the name of the tank tops, and I decided to sell them together because I was probably going to have a quicker sale and sell for more, because they are just tank tops and they're very basic tank tops from Lululemon. But yeah, this also sold pretty quickly. They sold for $27 on Mercari, and after fees I made $23.02. And my last sale I had yesterday, which was another fantastic sale, again, for my most recent bins trip I did last week that I haven't filmed yet. I found these Spanx straight leg pants in a size extra large. I was so excited to find these. I actually found a couple pairs of Spanx pants that day, and I was really excited. I love finding Spanx pants. They do really well. I think last week or maybe the week before I shared with you guys that I sold a pair of their wide leg pants in a size extra small for like, I want to say $60. So they do really well in like all sizes, but I was excited this was a bigger size. Comps were great. Originally I had this listed at 100, but in a couple, like, I think it sold within like 2 days of me listing it, and someone offered me 80, so I did decide to accept. And then after fees I made $61.98, which is great. Very happy about that. So I did end on a good note yesterday, and today I've already had a couple of pretty good sales, so I'll be excited to share those with you guys next week. But yeah, so far definitely better than the previous week, and hopefully things are picking up. But yeah, my gross total for this last week was $700.49, and then after fees of $144.63, I net $555.86. So nothing crazy, but things are picking up. So that's hopefully a good sign that this coming week will be fantastic. And yeah, I hope you guys are having a great sales week. Let me know if you feel like things are picking up or if they're still kind of slow or if they never slowed down for you. And yeah, I hope you guys have a great time sourcing and selling this week, and I'll see you guys all in my next video. Bye!